Okay folks, you're very welcome to our final webinar for our breeding week 2026. Tonight we're going to cover beef, and I suppose the main focus here is producing those real top quality weanlings for that export market. Firstly, I suppose we're just back from Belgium. A couple of us went over to see how the bulls are performing in the stud and how the progeny look on farms. And I'm just going to go through a very brief update on those bulls. After that, we're going to go to two herds that are producing really top quality E-grade Belgian Blue bulls, but are also targeting that high value heifer market. The first one is John O'Reilly in Clare, 40 cow, autumn and spring calf and herd, using all AI, and I suppose cow type is a big thing on both these herds. On John O'Reilly's cow, it's predominantly Limousin cows, an odd sprinkle of blue in his cows, but his cows are very consistent. I suppose John's cows are probably R plus U minus grade cows. And then we go on to Martin and Aaron McGann in Bellharbour in County Clare, and I suppose there is a more blue influence in the cow there, but through the use of careful selection and Aaron now doing his own AI, I suppose you can see the quality of the calves. There's some EBY, Clare and McCabe, and there's some super blue calves through that. I think we'll cover them in detail later, but just with regards to, I suppose, a few things. Sex semen, we're very lucky that our purpose-built laboratory here in Dovea is working very well, and that we have sex available across all the beef breeds now. Working on maybe some more breeds for the autumn, but yeah, we have a wide selection of Limousin and Belgian Blue available. And I suppose within that, the two big hits for us in the Belgian Blue world are and the Bofo BB4438 and the Greta BB8019. And on the Limousin front, we have a lot of double F94L bulls that are very easy calving. I suppose Sleepfellow Sterling is the prime example. Doing a fantastic job in those more muscular heifers. Very easy calving, and they're available sex female as well. Drumline, LM9577, slightly stronger calving than Sleepfellow Sterling, but probably bringing a little bit more quality to the table. He too is a double 94L bull, and a dream to calve. So it's the third Limousin bull I'm just going to mention before I go. And I think he's a slow burner, we'll call him. He's been used more this year than last year, and he was used more last year than the year before. He's a bull Brontymore Sail Ring. A big, long, functional bull himself, and I think he's doing that in his progeny as well. He's easy calving in general. On heifers, I'd be saying use him on those straighter type heifers, but I think he's doing a very, very good job on maybe muscular cows to retain females from him. He's a son of Knock M Sport. So I suppose we'll go back to our trip to Belgium, and what did we see? I think we've seen some fantastic new bulls in the stud in both Fabraca and Belgiumex. A couple of bulls that really, really stood out there was probably Safari, Helium and Stigma. And to me, maybe Stigma was the bull that the calves in the ground are exceptional. Colours, they had length, they had squareness, they had plates, real smart heads in them, really doing a good job. Helium are seriously extreme, little head on the bull, but a big wide top on him. And look at, they're mature, heavy bulls. They are correct. They're extreme machines. So we would be basing our opinions more on the progeny we've seen on farms. Apple, Avicii and Ronaldo are, I suppose, three bulls we would have sold for the last couple of years. And still today, when you look at them in the stud, they're looking serious well, and Avicii is still one of the most popular choices in Belgium. In Belgium, XC will be some of their top selling bulls. And then we move over to Fabraca. Moderato is one of my picks from Fabraca. Jupiter and Tanker, seen some beautiful Tanker progeny in Belgium. Real style machines. I think for that breeding heifer job, he's doing a serious job in Ireland. So I think, folks, we will have another webinar before springtime, to cover maybe Charlies and other breeds. But tonight is primarily focused on producing weanlings for the export market and doing a really good job producing them calves. Okay, folks, so we're here with John O'Reilly just outside Ennis, as I said before. John is a 40 cow suckler herd. He also is an AI technician, and he sells semen for Dovea Genetics here in County Clare. Spring and autumn calving herd. We're here with the autumn calvers now. I suppose I'm coming to this yard longer than both you and I'd like to remember, John, but I think the cows have improved a lot, and when I say improved, the cows here have got a lot more consistent. Yeah, we've a few Belgian blue cows through it, John, but the majority are red limousins and black limousin cows, and I suppose just maybe as an AI technician, what are you seeing on the road at the minute? Is there any breed that's grown in popularity, or are people going back using more Belgian blue, or what's happening?
I suppose I'd see a small increase in Belgian blue, not a whole pile. It seems to be holding its own. Limousine still the most popular breed, followed by Charlotte, I suppose, then followed by Belgian blue.
Yeah, and that's in the suckler herds, of course.
Yeah.
And I suppose this job is very specific, John, isn't it? Like producing these top quality weanlings, as we can see here. You know, it's not a case of just any type of cow to produce a consistent bunch of weanlings.
Yeah.
I suppose the more limousin blood you have in the cow, the better your blue bulls will work. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose you just need a good type of a limousine cow. I find maybe the closer you go to pedigree, the more consistent you have.
Your bunch of calves will be,
Yeah, but like, there are some cows there will touch the blue in them and that, but you just have to be very careful around calf and then.
So I suppose, John, would you be looking into myostatin here? Like, would you be going back using all double 9-4L limousins on them blue cows, or would you push the boat out a little bit, or what would be your feeling?
I could push the boat out a little bit if I knew the cow.
Okay.
Generally, if she has a myostatin, especially an NT gene, she'll be getting a double 94L.
Yeah, and I suppose,
you know,
that's the beauty of myostatin and genotyping, is that we know what the cows are carrying now, John, and that we can select the right bulls for the right cow.
Yeah.
And it's just, with regard to AI, sure, that is the beauty of it, like, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah, it is. Like, a share of my cows there would be double 94Ls.
And you can go with your double NT Belgian blue with no trouble.
Yeah, little trouble, yeah, you know.
From a replacement point of view then, John, I suppose we've seen a few limousin heifer calves. There's a lovely red heifer calf with a white face. She's a drum line off of a blue cow. Is there any risk attached there, or is it that she's a double 9-4L, she doesn't carry an NT, you're going to keep her? Or where?
Well, she's genotyped, that heifer calf, and she's coming back as a single
NT.
No, single F94L.
Okay.
So she has no NT in her.
Okay.
She has only one single gene of the F gene, and yeah, she will be kept for replacement.
A lovely type of a heifer calf, I suppose. Like just a nice U grade, square hips on her, and loads of power and length. And I suppose you know the cow has milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like even that there's a bit of blue back there, she's not carrying the NT
She's not
gene.
carrying the NT, so I wouldn't be afraid to keep her as a replacement.
Of course.
Sure, look, we'll know after a couple of calves whether she's capable of giving her blue or not down the road if she's lucky enough to stay that long.
Okay, so this is just two calves in this pen in particular. Our bull LM8929 sleeve Phelim Sterling. Very, very easy calf and limousin bull. He's Dovea's #1 choice for muscular heifers. And you'll see the quality of these two calves.
out of a red Limousin and a Belgian Blue heifer. So just to show you, bull is very easy calving and yet can produce these quality calves used on that type of heifer. So I suppose, John, from a weanling point of view, you sell direct here to an exporter every year, twice a year or 3 times, or?
Yeah, maybe 3 times a year.
Okay.
Try and sell in the middle of summer for the autumn calves. Some of the later autumn calves the back end of the year, and some of the spring calves obviously just sold.
They're just gone last week out of the yard. And I suppose, John, what's the perfect, like, are you talking about selling light calves, or what's the weights roughly of your calves going out the gate?
I would like them over 400 kilos, but maybe somewhere between 4 and 450 to get them to the maximum of what I can get for them.
So I suppose it's all lovely about us talking about nice cows and great calves, but the system has to be profitable, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I suppose on this specific system at the minute, it is probably your calves are making record prices. The temptation would be there probably to go into more blue type cows, but you probably were there where you had some of them bluier type cows in the past and have moved back to more the straighter red cow. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, definitely. Once you have a consistent bunch of calves with a bit of weight about them and they have nice conformation, you don't need to go extreme. Yes. There's only a certain amount you can get no matter what.
And I suppose, John, when you are running this type of cow, you will get a certain amount of out and out them real E-grade calves that we have, but them good U plus calves, they are perfectly good enough once they're getting into that 400 kilos as fast as possible for that export job as well.
Definitely, yeah.
I suppose just on your Limousin calves, John, and there's a very nice red roan heifer calf there. There's some exceptional younger heifer calves we'd have seen already, but I suppose the red roan heifer calf, her mother's a pedigree Limousin cow, is that right?
Yeah.
And she's by 4438 and the Bofo. She was conceived through a sexed semen, so a female sexed 4438. But I think that breeding heifer thing, that's the big bolt onto this system, that you can produce your bull calves for the export market, but if you do come across, they will come along the way, some of them heifers, won't they?
They will, yeah.
And I suppose they're a great top-up then to your bull calves, like.
Yeah, look, I mean, I breed for the export market. If the breeding heifer comes along as part of it, well, sure, all the better.
Yeah, it's a great bonus, I suppose, on top of your bull calves going for the export job, that these heifer calves are now being bought for those specialised in-calf jobs, I suppose, eventually is where they wind up.
Yeah.
And some of your heifers, John, would have sold fierce well at some of the breeding sales and some of the in-calf heifer sales over the last couple of years, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough, that lads that have bought them off me, they've gone on well for them and have sold well at some of them.
And even
sales.
now you would see some of them breeding men coming back to buy them direct on farm off of you, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I've had a few inquiries, and sure, look, some years you have something for them or something nice for them, and more years maybe they're not there, but sure.
Yeah.
You know?
So I suppose an overall thing, I have to compliment your new shed where your spring calvers are, John. I suppose it's a fantastic job. It probably makes life a lot easier for you when you are out on the road to have your setup very good at home. And I suppose the Suckler cow numbers, just before we finish, are they steadied in Clare now?
I think they've steadied, they've levelled up, yeah, definitely. I see some people maybe on about getting back into a few. Yeah, talking to lads there that they have said maybe that some of the stores are getting a bit expensive. But really that's only going to level out what you see maybe.
You will see an odd person retiring as well, of course.
Yeah, generally in Clare, a lot of it has been down to retirements.
Yes.
And maybe older generations not being replaced in farms. You know?
And I suppose, John, for anyone that was selling weanlings last back end or even still selling them, I suppose you are fortunate here that you have great mart infrastructure around here for selling weanlings as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and I suppose I'm sure most of the Suckler farmers are smiling now, they're in better form. It's worth staying up all night to pull this calf or to calve this cow, or, you know. At long last, Suckler farmer is getting rewarded for producing quality, I suppose, aren't they?
Yeah, and we're lucky, like, I mean, Ennis, Clare marts are only in the road. A
fantastic
super mart, super facility.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, there's going through massive amounts of weanings going through there, and
every
top
autumn,
prices.
all year,
Yeah,
you know, and,
yeah.
and those good weanlings are sticking a great trade in it all the
Oh
time,
yeah,
aren't they?
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay. Anything you are going to do different on the farm, John, in the next breeding season, or just keep things as they are?
Try and keep them away. I'm happy with how things are going. Happy with my system, and sure, I suppose just see how it goes.
Just with regard to the blue bulls, John, you're using, I suppose we've seen a few Ronaldos, we've seen a few Safaris, yeah, we would have seen 4438s here, and there's some super 4438 bull calves. Like, are you worried about calving difficulty when you go picking a bull?
Yeah, I mean, I don't go for extreme high calving difficulty. I see if your cow is good enough, you don't have to overcompensate with your bull, you know.
So I've seen you have a few Avicii calves is there as well, and Avicii is probably around 22 or 3% calving difficulty on beef cows now.
Yeah.
Like, how many sections out of 40 would you have on average in the year?
This year I've only had one.
One section
I suppose other years, generally 2 or 3.
out of 40 cows.
You know,
yeah.
and never anymore. I don't go looking for sections.
Of
but,
course,
you know,
nobody wants a lot of them, but I suppose when you are sailing close to the wind, you could have an odd one, and the calves are so valuable now, it makes more sense to do the section rather than trying to pull a calf that won't come where you need it.
Without doubt, yeah.
And I suppose, John, when you are talking about the price for the weanlings, you know, I'm not going to get into what you got, but like a system like this can absorb a cost like 2 or 3 sections in the year now, no problem, can't it?
No, it can, yeah, it can. Like, I mean,
You know, the reward is greater now than it was, like.
yeah, but if you're careful with your sire, with the bulls you're choosing, and you get good advice
And your cow type.
and your cow type, I mean, there's no reason the
I
world
think
why
if
you
you,
need to have to make
if you have these, you'll see them in the video, like the cows are just very uniform. Yeah, there is a few blue cows in it, but the red cows, they're all of a type. There's no big extreme cows in it with hangy arses on them. They're all good, functional, R plus U grade cows, John, I suppose is what I'd say.
Yeah.
And they will take those bulls, you know. And even the few heifers that are through it are doing a right good job. You see all the calves out the back there. There's no calf left out of the bunch. You know, they're a very consistent bunch of calves. And I suppose it's great to see, you know. My job is getting the bulls, putting them in place to go out to the farms, and it's great to see the bulls performing as they do, you know, and it's year on year. And I think our bull choice is definitely improving, and you can see that through, you know, the calves are being bred. And I suppose at the end of the day, it's what finishes in your pocket at the end of the year is the measurement of success, you know.
Yeah.
And I suppose that is increasing. I know the market has increased, but your weanlings are getting better and better. And that's a good news story for you and for the way, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah.
So look, I suppose, thanks, John. We're going to move on to the farm of Aaron and Martin McGann now. They're up the road half an hour. Same system, spring and autumn calving, good type cows producing weanlings for that export market. And I suppose maybe fair to say, trying to really drive on the revenue they bring in from their heifer weanlings. Okay, folks, so we're on to our second farm here. We're on the farm of Martin and Aaron McGann here in Bellharbour in County Clare. A spring-autumn calving herd, so split 50-50, 50% in the autumn, 50% in the spring. Majority of the autumn calves are born by AI. Aaron is a technician in the area for us, so I suppose we're going to go through his cows and calves, a little bit on their system. And I suppose what you can see here is a selection of the calves they have born from their autumn herd. Cow type here is Limousin Belgian Blue and some Parthenaise. Pushing the boat out on the cows. Limousin sires are put back on the Belgian Blue cows, and then I suppose it's Belgian Blue on both the Limousin and the Parthenaise cows. Their target market is the tip-top export bull weanling. And then I suppose last year, they had an exceptional year selling heifer weanlings with highs of 7,500 in their local mart in Gort. So I suppose that heifer was sired by Avicii. She was the champion at the Weanling show and sale in Gort, and the top priced heifer sold there last year at 7,500. And I suppose you can see the quality coming through again here. No more than the farmer on earlier in John O'Reilly's. A specific market, specific cow type, and doing a really good job throughout.
Hi, my name is Martin McGann in Bellharbour, County Clare. I'm farming here with my wife Martina and my son Aaron and the rest of the family when they get time from work to help us out. We're a Suckler herd, spring and harvest calving, roughly 50-50. We use Limousin Blue and pedigree Parthenaise cows. We're aiming for the export market and for the good heifer sales that's coming up in Gort mart. If you have top-end heifers, you'll get fair money for them. We always had a stock bull on the farm here since 1996. We're 30 years at Blues this year. We still have a stock bull on the farm. He's a stock bull, he's a hazard stock bull born from Tommy Fitzgerald's in Clonaslee. Still producing very, very good case, but my son Aaron here started AI with Dovea nearly 2.5-3 years ago. And he's a technician with AI, and since we started using the AI, he's mixing the bull type to the cow type, and the ease of calving is getting a little easier because he can mix and match what blue bull, what Limousin bull to put on, which cow to put on. It seems to make the job a bit easier, and the run of calves we have from AI is behind us there this year.
We like to use the likes of BB4438. We're crossing him on the second calf for us. He's fairly easy calf on the likes of a blue cow. Brings that extra bit of gear and good colour on the calves as well. Probably then coming up to third and fourth calf as we take another step up. We use the likes of that BB6700 Moderato. We're using Bohard Overdose and Avicii we used this year as well, as we got on pretty well with a heifer calf we sold this year. He's bringing nice colour on the calves. On the heifers then, we usually keep a kind of a black Limousin or a black blue heifer and an odd red heifer and a pedigree Parthenaise. We go with the likes of EBY and Sleeve Phelan on them first time just to get the calf out pretty well. You can see there's a couple of EBY calves there behind us, and they are a fairly good calf for easy calving on a heifer as well. Yeah, you could use on the next step up then on your blue cow, you could use the likes of McCabe there. There's two McCabe calves there in the bunch as well. They're a very, very good, exceptional calf. The bull calves are very good. You wouldn't distinct them away from any blue. They're bringing plenty muscle and plenty fanciness as well in the calves.
So I suppose, Aaron, like, you're out on the road now with a couple of years AI, and yeah, you're picking the bulls here. From what I can see, you're doing a good job anyway. You talk about using a bull there, EBY for easy calving. Like, there's some exceptional red Limousin calves there, yeah?
Yeah.
So, some arts coming from the heifer. Do you test the cows for myostatin, or?
No, we kind of go by looks mainly. We are going into more of that myostatin gene as well.
And I suppose that is the thing, when you have the blue cows, they'll all carry a copy. So, going back with a bull like EBY is a safe cert.
Yeah.
And of course you have some blue cows that you probably have to stay going with EBY because they mightn't calve much more. Would that be fair to say?
You would, yeah. You give
an odd one.
An odd one, very odd one, yeah. Yeah, you would. You could take a next step up. You could go with the likes of that bunch more sailoring as well if you wanted to
or
get
drumline maybe,
bit
you
more
know.
power and so.
I think they're a lovely bunch of calves. I suppose we'll just go through them, but yeah, there's a lot of colour here in your blue calves, loads of shape, you know, but still very nice type of calves. They're not real extreme. And I suppose from crossing the two breeds, that's what you're really going to get, that uniformity, isn't it?
Yeah, sure, look, you'd see the bull calves there, the heifer calves, you'd want them coming the same way. You don't want a real extreme muscle.
Of course. Go back, Aaron, to your heifer that was champion in Gort last year. Her mother, what was she, off of a Limousin cow?
She was a black Limousin off a black Limousin cow, so she was nearly 75% Limousin.
and the bull was a Vici.
Bowlers of each, yeah.
And I suppose that heifer, you didn't think you'd get 7,500 in Gort, Aaron.
I didn't think you'd get that much. But
So I suppose, look, it's great to see young people getting rewarded for putting in the time and effort, and I suppose we're here on a family farm, and that's really what suckling farming in the west of Ireland is about, I suppose, to see the younger generation coming up. Maybe now you could argue that, oh yeah, there is a lot of money at the job, but it wasn't for the money. People were following this job for a lot of years, I suppose. It is for the love of the farm and then improving things and doing things better on farm. And I suppose, going back to your father, it's maybe 10 or 12 or 14 years ago in Belgium, I would have met your father and he was using all blues that time. And I suppose to see the thing improving and keeping coming forward is great to see, you know. So, look, I suppose the road then, a lot of Limousin in this part of the country, is it?
A lot of Limousin, a lot of Chardonnay.
Okay.
Very little blue, and it's mainly the farmer's son wants to try out a coloured blue to get that nice heifer.
But like Limousin and nice, good Limousin bulls, like.
Full square Limousin bull and your type of Chardonnay.
What would be your number one bull on the road AI in now?
You're talking about drumline.
Okay.
They want stairs, they want replacement heifers.
And of course, a bull with 2 copies of the F94L, not going to give him any big trouble calving, and yet very nice quality cattle.
Exactly, yeah, that's what you want. You don't want a really extreme hard bull going on a farm by himself because he's going to have trouble calving.
Okay, so look, I suppose the best of luck for this year. You've a great bunch of weanlings.